Hello. Today we are here at the office with Jasmine, and we are discussing different options for pain medication in case of a transport to the hospital. Most of the time when we are transferring a mom to the hospital in labor, it is due to maternal exhaustion. And so usually we typically have a mom needing to go in and get some rest so that she can labor down and the baby can still be born vaginally. So when we get to the hospital, the options that we usually are offered start with something small like an IV medication. So some of those IV medications that are offered to us might be Stadol, Nubane, Demerol, morphine, or fentanyl. We always want to discuss the risks and benefits to mom and baby, of course. And so some of those risks to mom and baby are that they can make you both very sleepy. Of course, opioids will cross the placenta barrier and affect baby's breathing potentially after birth. Another option that we have at the hospital that's available to us is nitrous oxide. Now, that's something that you will breathe in. You'll put a mask over your face, and it is mom controlled. That means that mom holds the mask up, and you breathe it in yourself, and as soon as you're done, you let the mask go. The wonderful thing about nitrous is that it does not cross the placenta barrier. It is rapidly metabolized, and so that means as soon as it goes in and then you breathe it back out, it's eliminated from the body. So its effects are short-lived. Some of the things that sometimes we see with moms that use it might be a little bit of dizziness or nausea, drowsiness. But for the most part, since you are controlling how much you're getting in and it's easily going away from the body, we don't see a lot of negative side effects with that. Another option, of course, that we have available to us, most people are pretty familiar with, is the epidural. One thing to know about the epidural is that once you get it, you will be bed-bound. So that means that you will not be able to get in and out of the bed, and the baby needs to be continuously monitored while you have that. So the epidural, what that process is like is that the anesthesiologist will go in and place a catheter in the epidural space of your spine, and then medication is being continuously delivered to that area. It's blocking that pain signal from the body to the brain. Some of those risks will be low blood pressure for mom. It can stall labor or slow it down. It also can lead to ineffective pushing. So sometimes we'll have a mom that just doesn't feel anything at all, and she doesn't feel where she needs to push effectively. So we always want to talk about that. Another kind of regional anesthesia that sometimes is offered is called a pudendal block. That is a block that goes in and numbs a certain area of your perineum in your body. They will especially use it with operative vaginal birth. So like if we have someone who's needing a forceps delivery or an episiotomy, sometimes they will do that, and it'll block that area of the bottom. The risks for that would be bleeding, temporary leg numbness and weakness. It does enter the bloodstream and can cross the placenta barrier and cause breathing issues for the baby. Typically, that is at the very end of birth anyway, but we do definitely want to discuss those risks. And then the last one that I want to talk about is general anesthesia. So in case of an emergency or distress to baby, the fastest way that we can get the baby out is to use general anesthesia. That means we put mom completely to sleep. They will get intubated. You will have a breathing apparatus down your throat. One of the things that we always want to talk about with the general anesthesia, of course, you're not awake for the birth, and we do need to get the baby out pretty quickly because within a couple of minutes, that is going to enter the baby's body, then cross that placenta barrier, and can cause the baby to get very sleepy, hurt the baby with respirations after birth. It also, for moms, a lot of moms will have issues with nausea, vomiting right afterwards. So that we definitely want to keep as a last case scenario, worst case scenario, I guess. So typically moms that come in, even if it's a planned C-section, they will do like a regional spinal block versus a general anesthesia where you're completely put under. The only other medication that we haven't discussed yet that sometimes does get brought up in a hospital delivery is the use of lidocaine. So that would be more of like a local or topical type of anesthesia used to numb the area, specifically the perineum. We typically use that whenever we're doing a repair to the mom's bottom if she's had any kind of tearing. So that medication, like I said, is lidocaine. Sometimes, we will use something like morphine or fentanyl, tetracaine, but it doesn't help with labor pain, right? So that's very specific to that area that we're giving it in. I hope this answers your questions about what options are available to you or what we might see or hear about when we enter the hospital setting.